Hey, what's up? It's Gio from Familybusyness. Thank you for watching, and today we're gonna be creating something those abstract planet landscape-ish inspired thing, and let's jump straight in, and I'm gonna create a simple sphere, and I'm gonna change the type from standard to icosahedron, because icosahedron is made of those regular almost same size triangles, and this will give me a better, much more defined mesh. Next step is going to be, I'm gonna find a displacer deformer and put it in the sphere, and in the shading tab I can choose a regular texture to drive the height map of the sphere, or I will go ahead and choose the noise. Okay, and right now nothing very impressive happens, and if I bump up the segments to, let's say, 1000, let me switch back to quick shading, I get this kind of weird brain intestines like pattern, and I will go inside the shading noise parameters and play around with the noise type. I can play around with some different types. Let's try the turbulence, and we get the different pattern. I will definitely increase the global scale to something like maybe 700, so I get this tiny little details on it. The overall scale of the noise is bigger. I will try another one, the stupel type. It looks okay to me right now. Let's try another one. Oh, this is too much, I think, for the landscape. Okay, Ober, it looks cool to me. Okay, I will switch back to this stupel one, and if I scroll down, I get this. I have this kind of color correction parameters for the noise, and low clip is gonna get my dark values even darker, and it's gonna flatten out all the low points on the right here. Okay, if I will pull the high clip down, it's gonna make the white points brighter, and we get this weird or maybe beautiful clipping. I will pull this up a little bit again. I have the brightness parameter here, the contrast. I kind of like it how it is. So one more thing I can do is to play around with the overall height of the displacer, and I will create another sphere. I will assign a simple white material to it, and we kind of get something like those rivers, seas on our planet. Maybe I will play more with the displacement, noise parameters, maybe more contrast. Okay, you get the point. And this is it. From this point you can kind of render it however you want, use whatever render engine you need. I'm gonna do this in Redshift, so I'm gonna fire up the Redshift render view. I'm gonna pop it in the right corner, and first thing, Redshift lights, dome light. I'm gonna assign a HDR to it. I will rotate HDR. It looks cool, you know. We got the cool lighting, the shaded part, and a little bit of backlight. Let's try to create a camera, and since if we're talking about the planet, you know, I think we should go to like more big, huge telephoto, like something like maybe, you know, 500 millimeters. Let's go with the 500 millimeter lens. I will scroll out. Okay, so we got very few background left and everything is very massive and gigantic. I will create a redshift material. I will drag this on our original sphere. Let's call this like something like planet, and this oceans, and it already kind of looks cool. You cannot go wrong with this thing. Let's try some different techniques for creating the shader for the for the planet. I want to try out something that will maybe create some worn effect on the pointy parts of the planet. So I will create a how is this called in Redshift? So I will need a blender, I guess, material blender, and I will need a curvature. Let's apply the curvature. I mean, wire it in the output surface, and already we see that we get some lines on the curves of our planet, and this is what we want. I will play around with the curvature. If I switch from convex to concave, I will get the reverse. I mean, let's switch back to convex. Let's go into remapping and play around with some values. Let's play around with bias, gain. Okay, cool. We will use this curvature texture to blend between two materials. The general material is gonna be, I think, very kind of darky blue, dark blue, maybe dark red, something like this. Let's try. We will need some roughness, texture for roughness. We will work on it later, but for now let's kind of blur our reflections and dial the reflections down. I will create another redshift material inside this material. Let's for the sake of experiment, I will make a gold material, regular gold, and let's wire it in. Regular gold. I will blur the reflections, and okay, let's wire those two materials into one material blender. So the first one is gonna be base color, second one is gonna be layer 1 color, and the curvature goes in layer 1 blend color, and we get this gold on the edges, this dark material on the main surface. It kinda already looks cool to me. We can play with the gold material. I mean, nobody can tell that this is gold. It has to be just different. Let's go ahead and in the overall emission color choose something like, you know, orangey-ish color, warm. Maybe apply some emission weight, so it's brighter, so it emits kind of light. Let's go ahead and leave this gold material as it is. I will create a texture node. I will choose some random texture. Okay, texture, general. Let's see if I have something appropriate for this right now. Let's see, let's check this out. It has some kind of weird dance, and maybe it will work just fine. Okay, let's play around with the scale. For example, 10 by 10. Yeah, okay, why not? I'm gonna wire this back in. I'm gonna wire the texture that we just imported into the base materials reflection roughness, and we have nothing interesting going on. Let's see. Okay, let me create a ramp node real quick. Ramp. Okay, input and output. Alternate. Switch the black and white. Maybe increase the contrast, and we have some, something like texture going on already. Let's try different texture. Okay, what's that? It looks like some frosted glass. Let's bring it back, and it has something, some beautiful irregularities. I think looks cool to me. Okay, I will duplicate this texture. I will import another texture. Let's find something appropriate for this. Let's try this. Why not? And put it in the reflection weight. So wherever this texture is bright, it will be 100% reflective. Whenever this is dark or black, it's gonna reduce the reflectivity. Right now it looks kind of cool. I may put ramp between it. So into input, reflection weight, I may kind of reduce the full white to kind of grays to reduce overall opacity, but I will leave as it is. I will just pull in some black so it has some real deep black scratches like reflections. And I will duplicate the texture one more time, I think, and find another texture. Let's try regular concrete texture. Let's cheat a little bit. So I will choose this one, and I will create a displacement node. Displacement. I will wire the texture in the displacement texture map and wire the displacement in the output displacement, not the materials displacement, but the output displacement. Let me save this real quick. Save as tutorial earth. I'm unorganized today. I will assign a Redshift object tag to the planet in the geometry override, tessellation, and enable displacement. And we have some beautiful displacement going on already. Displacement scale, I will increase this to 5. It may crash. It may crash, but it doesn't crash. Yay. Let's leave it at 1. maximum subdivisions to 16. Yes, it looks cool. Let's create another material for the ocean part of it. Redshift materials. I will give this just a regular glossy-ish material, nothing special, nothing fancy. Let's try some colors, maybe some greenish. It doesn't look good. Nothing interesting. I will leave this somewhere here, I guess. Okay, let's leave this here. I will increase the roughness. Good thing would be to pop in, wire in some, sea-like turbulent texture for the roughness and for the displacement or the bump, but you can do it yourself. I'm gonna create, I'm gonna try to visualize everything with the enabled background turned off. I will play with the dome light rotation a little bit more. Somewhere here I think looks good. I don't like it. So let's bring this down maybe, or up. Okay, leave as it is. Redshift lights, area light. I'm gonna put the area light behind our planet and rotate it towards us. I'm gonna make it really bright, so it's brighter than the dome light. Let's try 15, so we get this huge beautiful backlight, maybe from beneath. Okay, looks cool. See, I will color this area light some, give this a little bit cool color. Okay. Let's play with the color of the seas one more time. Or we can, make this, glowing, shiny thing, so it looks more like lava. Or make it completely black. It's an option too. Okay, let's make it brighter. Overall, I don't like to go, all the way saturated and things. Let's play with this value a little bit. We can, make this rivers thinner by reducing the size of the sphere. Okay. And let's enable our choose our Redshift as the main render engine. I will real quick, mess with the samples, 512, 256, enable GI, brute force since we're outside, 15. I'm gonna play with the dome light brightness, and this is kind of basic planet-like setup. I will apply the Redshift camera tag to the camera. I'm gonna enable the bokeh effect. I'm gonna choose the camera, and in the focuser object I will put in our planet. And then I'm gonna make it really grotesque and dramatic, huge depth of field. Let's try 50 on 50. 25 on 25. I'm gonna create a null object, and I'm gonna place this null object right somewhere here, and then replace the planet with the null object. And still I don't like this glowy reverse, so I'm gonna play a little bit more with it. Let's go with the gold one more time, maybe. Or platinum. Okay, let it be. So let's see our test render for this. And that's it, the basic, abstract planet setup. You can play a lot more probably. So that's it. The depth of field was a bad idea, I guess, because we lose a lot of great details in the blur. So bye bye.